Yeah, yeah, Tessa, that's right. Yeah, Prey. You want my honest opinion? I think Starship is right. Starship is the correct move. Um, just Starship is the correct move, but not as a lander. I wouldn't mind if they made it a lander. Do it, make it happen. I think Starship would be better suited, and you said this already, but I think that's right. I think Starship would be better suited in a role to do exactly what the space shuttle was supposed to do. So, use Starship to build gigantic space vehicles in low Earth orbit. And then maybe have a lander variant attached to those space vehicles. Huge tankers. Build stuff like this. Here, I'll show you. Like what Constellation had planned. Seriously, use Starship to make something like this. Use Starship to build on-orbit factories in low Earth orbit, and then go to the moon, mine resources off the moon with starships, have them come back and build bigger ships. I mean, I think that so there's so many factors. I agree that Starship is the right vehicle, but I'm not sure for what application yet. Well, Prey, I see Starship in the future. Okay, I've talked about this before, and I could write a thesis statement about this stuff. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna load up Kerbal while we're doing this, and I'll get to work on the pad here. We got to work on the SSTO's pad, which is I think we're on mission mode, part 169. So, I've talked about where I see spaceflight going in 50 years. So, vehicles, nice, yeah. Vehicles like the Copernicus, I think, are the right move. Now, why? The reason is because, long story short, I like boats. That's the reason. I like boats. What does that mean? Well, I'm a big fan of naval architecture. I think there's something to learn from the commercial shipping industry and the commercial maritime industry. There's something to be learned there for how we think about going around in space, right? Why? Why is that? Well, how the commercial shipping industry works is that, well, you have a gigantic body of nothing that you have to cross, and you have to move cargo over there. We do this in a couple of different ways, right? 168. Not nice. All right, well, we'll save our nices for tomorrow. We do this in a couple of ways. So if I wanted to get to Tokyo right now, how would I do it? How would I go to Tokyo right now, provided there was no pandemic or anything, provided everything is normal? How would I get to Tokyo? I'd take a plane, right? Why do you take a plane? Because it's quicker. It's quicker and probably less expensive at this point, right? On-orbit reuse is demonstratively easier. If you have massive transfer vehicles that can be affordably assembled on orbit, transporting more cargo less frequency may be a net better return than trying to launch on many different ships. Agreed. That's where I'm going with this. Yeah, okay, we're on the same page there. So, I could take a plane to Tokyo from Boston right now. We could do that. It would take about 14 hours. Or I could drive across the United States, get on a boat somewhere on the West Coast, and sail over there. Now, okay, here's the thing. What's the more efficient way to do it? The container ship is the more efficient way to go. Container ships are very efficient at moving bulk payload in one shot. Now, with that being said, it's more efficient. Would I still take the plane? Hell yeah, I'd still take the plane. I think Starship where Starship's role will be in the future, and this is why I think it's correct, is for human transportation. It's for human transportation. Why? Well, I mean, it's for the same reason that I don't want to be stuck on a ship for 2 months crossing the Pacific Ocean trying to get to Japan. I mean, I don't want to do that. Do you want to do that? So Starship, with its chemical propulsion systems, will still be susceptible to an extent to like orbital mechanics and stuff. However, the alternative, and this is where I think it won't make sense to move Starship on cargo, to move cargo on Starship, unless it's certain things. Now, I think the alternative to that is building literally big container ships with nuclear reactors in low Earth orbit. So a gigantic container ship with a nuclear reactor and solar electric propulsion. Basically take the top of a container ship, where all the containers are stacked in a huge lattice, and the superstructure, and put a nuclear reactor behind that, and put solar electric or just electric propulsion behind that. It's very efficient, but very low TWR. It'd take a while to get to Mars. You only need a couple of crew on there. You don't need a lot of crew, right? You only need a couple of crew, 5-6 people, to maintain a ship that's the size of a football stadium. It's not, because it's mostly just cargo, right? And come up with a space intermodal container, and then have these ships going back and forth. If you have the extreme efficiency of an electric propulsion system coupled to a nuclear reactor, well, xenon gas is your only bottleneck at that point. It might take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months to go to Mars, but you could set up a constant supply chain that way. You could set up a constant supply chain. Ships would be coming into Mars every week. Just like a container ship shows up every week in the port of Los Angeles. Dropping off cargo, picking up other cargo, going back, right? Starships would be good for moving people around in the transfer window, right? That's when it's good for moving people. So you could move a bunch of starships all at once. Like you have like 4 or 5 of them go at the same time. They all land down on the surface of Mars, right? Or one of them stays on orbit and receives these container ships. And these container ships go to Mars or Venus or wherever, right? Like the Expanse. Halfway through, they turn around, flip and burn, etc., etc. That's where I see Starship fitting into a commercial space economy. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be like a 707. It's not going to be like a container ship. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Oh, like, well, those container ships are going to take a lot of time. Yeah. But think about how a container ship works nowadays. Container ships are extremely efficient at moving bulk cargo long distances. They're very efficient for doing that. We need a container ship equivalent up there. Starship is the airplane part, so to speak. We need container ships, man. Oh, that's cool, Thomas. Neat. And that's why you do what SpaceX already did with Starlink and switch to Krypton instead of Xenon. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, isn't that how a Vin Diesel movie started? Basically, big freaking freighters. Try replacing cargo ships with 747s and Antonov 124s. Yet container ships, we tried replacing. Yeah, it doesn't work, right? Look, we need basically a shipyard in space, and Starship is the way to do that. If we can't do that, so it's either in situ resource utilization or find a way to move the stuff up there to make it in space. It's not, and this isn't just about living in space, man. We got to learn how to weld. We got to learn how to fabricate in space. We got to learn how to build things in space, not just live there. You know what I mean? Hey, Shady, what's going on? Wouldn't have this problem if we kept flying shuttles. Well, Panda Man, if we actually put the damn shuttle to work, you know, and had it build like an orbital platform for ship manufacturing with on-orbit refueling and external tank wet work shops and stuff, we wouldn't be at this point. That's what I mean. No vision. Nothing. That was the problem with the shuttle program. No goddamn vision. You got to have an end goal. But once again, that comes from Rule 8 stuff, and I understand that. But yeah, that's where we need to go. That's what I would say to Elon if I replied to that Twitter thread. But I won't. That's too long to... I can't articulate that in 240 words, which is why I don't talk on Twitter very much. It's crazy to say, but current solar is lighter than going nuke if you don't pass Mars orbit. Iro says 23. Yeah, Raph, but that's like saying, oh, I can make a cruise ship that's good for going from Rio to Sao Paulo, but if you try to go to like Florida with it, it doesn't work. No, they don't design. I mean, yeah, maybe for some regional transports, like to the moon or something. But dude, I say screw it. Go right for the big one first. If we can build a space container ship that goes to Mars, then you sending that container ship to the moon would be easy. Basically, something like Grissom, something like the Grissom corvettes that we made in Kerbal. We need something like that, something that stays on orbit. That's not designed to re-enter and land. So how long is one of these space cargo ships supposed to take to get to Mars? Because who wants to wait 5 years for their cargo? Toby, one would come every week. You don't just build one cargo ship and have it go back and forth. No. The ships are efficient enough to be able to go to Mars pretty much at any time. Some of the trips might take longer. The trip to Mars, depending on where Earth and Mars are, can take up to a year. Or, if they're in the transfer window, it can take 3 months. The key is not to have one ship, but have like 40 of them. And 40 of them just doing a constant loop. Think about how useless global shipping would be if you had one container ship go from Beijing to Los Angeles, back to Beijing, back to Los Angeles, back to Beijing. No. There is a constant supply chain of ships. And, people can say, oh, but EJ, the transfer window, the Delta V, that's why the nuclear reactor with electric propulsion is there. Because what's the way to get around it? The way to get around it is have crazy amounts of Delta V. Just not high TWR. They don't have to get there quickly. They just have to get there. Just like a container ship doesn't have to get across the Pacific Ocean quickly. It just needs to get there. Right? Does that make sense? That would be my answer. What are they doing wrong at SpaceX? They're not doing anything wrong. This is a critical step. Hey, Richie, what's going on? Would also need refining possible automation along with asteroid cracking. Well, Maxim, that would come with the territory, just like there's civilian research vessels, like the nuclear-powered icebreakers that the Russians use. There would be applications here. Just like how the SS United States is actually it really was engineered to be a troop carrier for the Navy, and the U.S. government subsidized building it to move troops around in times of war, but it operated as a civilian ocean liner its entire life. There's applications here everywhere. The only thing I want from SpaceX outside of what they're doing is another Starship update presentation and renders and stuff. Pray, that's how I imagine it. Initial transfer ships take faster routes with less cargo, which get longer with more cargo as more are built, but the gaps between shipments get less. Yeah, Pray, it basically takes the concepts of Aldrin Cycler and then multiplies the Cycler by about 40. Chuck Berry used multiple forms of transportation on the way to the promised land. Amen, brother. I mean, that's how I'm thinking about this. You want to think macro game, you want to talk macro game with EJ, that's where we need to go. Starship is just one piece of the puzzle. Seriously, we should have had colonies on the moon and Mars by now, amen to that, and be looking for expanding outside of that. It's easy, I've done it in KSP. I worked in Kerbal Space Program, man, damn. Alright. So let's get to work on this pad, shall we? I mean, KSP shows the concepts, Richie. Like... here we go. All right. I mean... I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that last part. There was one more thing I was gonna add to it, but it's not right. That's not the right thing to say. I realize it's not as simple as it. I'm kidding, Richie. I know, dude. I know. All right, where's our pad design here? There it is. I know, Hipposlivo, isn't it? Isn't it awesome? To be honest, I always wish you could make an orbital DAB in KSP. Well, in KSP 2, we might get stuff like that, Maxim. I think. Pretty sure we will. We already colonized the moon and Mars. Where are we supposed to go next? Venus? Ceres? The Belt? The Outer Rim planets? Triton? Europa? Enceladus? Phobos and Deimos? Phobos and Deimos. You don't need to go there. But see, like, the thing about the nuclear-powered container ships that I'm talking about is that the nuclear-powered container ships, the only thing that's really preventing what I'm talking about from happening is a way to get all that stuff up in space so you can build the damn thing. Starship is the key to that. To boldly go where no one has gone before. Alright, so we're working on the revised pad here. The hotfix is out, Woodbite, but there's gonna be one more after. Alright, get rid of that. Phobos and Deimos, their last album wasn't that great. Right. Okay. Yeah, see, Prey, and that's... So you're saying Centaur reuse on orbit is very interesting. ULA's endgame would not be to compete with Relativity or SpaceX, but to use those as services to build their on-orbit vehicles. Yes, and that's why I agree with Tori Bruno in regards to that. How excited are you for the Road America Cup this week? If it's anything like the Indy Race Bandit, it should be fun. Oh, nice! A chessboard! Is this ramp going to intentionally wobble like your Condor 9 pad? No, Hired. This will not. That thing is strutted in position. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get rid of the outside fuel tanks just for now. I don't know, Brian. Alright. Guys, I'm just going to take I'm going to take a piss real quick, and then we'll get back to this. Actually, something that I got to do is put this pad out and see if it explodes. Well, you guys paid me to do all up testing, so we'll get this pad up and running in a moment. I'll be right back. Or at least we'll make the push to do it. I'll be back in a second.
Should we wait until tonight? The sweetest love has made my day. It feels so right. Baby, why should we wait until tonight? If we make love in the light of day, it feels so right. Tell me why
Guys, I know that was a long pee break. I'll be honest with you, Remo needed hugs. Remo needed hugs. Remo needed she needed hugs. Sometimes your girl needs hugs. So I was there to administer said hugs. Alright. So, hugs. Kappa. Yeah. Alright. It's a little weird. Alright, so... Oh boy, this launch pad looks really familiar. You shut up. Are you the boss here? Sure. Alright, so I actually wanted to put this thing out. On the ground for a second here. Just to see what we're talking here. So I'm gonna risk 245 to throw it out on the launch pad, and hopefully it doesn't pop. Did you hear about Richard Branson is going to space this month on the 11th with a Virgin Galactic test flight? I did, Briggsy. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? Alright, let's see what happens here. Doesn't move. No residual movement at all. It's completely solid. Very good. And that ramp is about as long as the ground ramp, which is good. So let's just, I'm not gonna dock anything here. So I'll take the docking port magnetization and just zero it out. But let's see what happens when we drive up on there. MS-17 docked successfully. It's the first progress ever to dock to Poisk. Cool. Yeah, Chivo, it turns out using Mark III fuselages for your launch pad is expensive, but these are also the best parts to get... these are the best parts to use to get an elevated pad. That's the thing. I don't have ground anchors, I just made the pad heavy. Progress contact and capture. Heck yeah, man. Let's see. I don't know if it's the wisest decision testing with a prototype that's been to space already, but we'll find out. Let's hope.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Gotta get the joystick out. Thanks for the great content as always. My pleasure, man. Oh, the joystick is tangled. Oh gosh. The joystick cable is tangled. And 56-month resub. Thanks, man. There we go. Alright, cool. No, we are not in engineering mode. Thank you for telling me. The jet truck is the best way to get this up there. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm gonna have to put panels. We're gonna put panels in here that bridge the gap because the landing gear, I wouldn't want the landing gear to fall. But other than that, this process to put it out here. I have an old joystick. Could I use it while landing a shuttle? If you go into the settings and bind the controls, Joe, should be fine. How old is it? I'm using a Logitech Extreme 3D Pro, which is about as old as you can get. What if you use rails to align it? How, Jack? It's very similar to yours, at least visually. Yeah, use it, dude. You just gotta bind it up. It's a Logitech. Yeah, it should be fine. As long as it's USB Logitech, it should be just fine. Good job, Airborne. Nice. Yeah, well, it's old to him, Tessa. All right, drummer. See you, buddy. So I think this is good. We could put stuff on this. It should be fine. The next thing to do would be to, the next step here would be to work on the docking interface. Yeah. So I'm gonna recover the pad. The ramp in this side of the pad works great. It works really, really well, actually. I'm really happy with that. The panels didn't move around at all. The thing didn't even skitch around as much like it does over here on these panels. This is a much stronger design. It is, once again, more expensive, but if we have a pad that's a little bit more robust, we can afford a lot of launches off this thing if we do this right. If we do this right, excuse me. What if instead of rails you use railguns to align it? Moving on. Wow, I ordered a FlexFit hat from Black Rifle Coffee and it was small, so I emailed them. They're sending me a large and it's free. Yeah, Black Rifle's cool, man. Would you try their coffee space beer? I mean, I'm a Dunkin' guy, but sure. Okay. So let's get the movement of how the reaction frame and everything should work figured out. So I have the length and diversion here, right? ISS is going offline to try and fix the ground control problem. Best of luck. Okay, Devious. Yeah, I got you. Alright, we're gonna have to mess with this a little bit. So I'm gonna bring this in here like this, right? And I have my attachment point and then we have the actual TE. Where are we attaching to right now? Let me move this into position. Yeah, okay. That's where it needs to be, because the last time with the pad when we moved this into the vertical position, these things hit the ground and that was no, they would have hit the ground and that's no good. So where's the absolute lowest we can go? Absolute lowest we can go is right there. Okay, so the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put an alignment I-beam right here to see if I'm aligning with the the root part, which is the launch pad flange, which is what the launch table will sit on. Okay, that is aligned. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do, quick order before it's gone. Now what we got to do is go back over here. So there's a problem. Problem is that the wheels are off the ground. That's no good. Yeah, I don't want that. So what exactly is happening today? I'm trying to get the upgraded pad figured out, Toby. And once I get the upgraded pad figured out, we should be able to have end-to-end reuse of this thing. So a lot of test flights when that happens. Because this thing should... I'm basically trying to overcome all the shortcomings that the other version of this pad, the one that hangs off of the launch pad, I'm trying to make sure we over-engineer everything to make sure none of the problems that happened with that pad happen with this pad. And part of it was the pad shifting around and not being aligned with the ramp, so I made my own ramp. Making our own ramp and then making this out of empty Mark III fuselages actually making it out of empty Mark III fuselages actually ended up being less parts. It's a little more expensive, but it's less parts, even with the ramp attached to it, which is good. I mean, that's pretty cool. And it does, I did use a build method that harkens back to my old Condor pad. But it'd be nice to put some of that knowledge to knowledge to use here. I made my own ramp with blackjack and Kerbals. In fact, forget the Kerbals. Alright, so that docking port is too high. So what happens if we take our primary attachment point and we move it down a little bit? That's where I would want it to be, right around there, give or take. Yeah, they have good impact tolerance, so they make a pretty good base plate, Swishio. I did that from a time before you watched the stream. I used to build pads like this. But the pads that I would build were like the size of Complex 39. They were way more complicated than this. I'm trying to use that build method, but also make a small, simple pad. This is as big as it's going to get. That's it. Oh gosh, those are all tanks. Say goodbye to bringing up all the tanks to make fuel transfer easier. Chibo, you're killing me. You're killing me, dude. What size is your head? I don't know, Airborne. I don't know off the top of my head. Okay, so now that we're level, let's turn this way. And where do we need to be to line the I-beams up? The pivot point needs to be over here. There we go. So, now let's take a look. Where are we at now? There. That's the guy. I have to have a huge head. I guess it's average for my size, I guess? I don't know. What if you lock them out? Yeah, I'm not sure lockout is going to work exactly how we want, but either way. Hey, Devin, what's going on? Hey, I'm new here. Probably getting this game tomorrow. Can you explain to me what you're doing? So, Devin, okay, first and foremost, I do not play Kerbal kind of in a run-of-the-mill manner. In Kerbal, you can take a rocket, you build it in here, you hit the launch button, and it puts it out on the pad, and then you launch it into space. Devin, what I like doing is I like building the launch pad for it as well. I have a special rule set that I personally made that's designed to be very challenging, and I play Kerbal, a version of Kerbal called Career Mode, and then I play with my rules subset on top of that to make the game difficult, to make it fun to stream. So don't use me for a metric for run-of-the-mill Kerbal gameplay. If you speak space flight, and you want to know what I'm doing, I'm making a fully reusable launch complex for my fully reusable SSTO. This is a single stage to orbit type vehicle. It's a small sat launcher. We call it the K-33. This thing right here, the thing that looks like a flying wedge of cheese, that thing is designed to just launch off the pad, go all the way up into space, deploy a payload, and then re-enter, come back down, land on the runway. And then I have my tug right here, fetch it off the runway, tow it right back here, and as long as the pad has fuel in it, reattach it to the pad, turn it vertically, load payload in, and then launch it again. I don't... In Kerbal, when you land your spacecraft, you can hit the recovery button, and then you could put it back out on the pad again if you want to launch it again, but it's not the same thing. I like reusing the same vehicle over and over and over and over again. It's part of my rule set. I do make it more realistic, dude. I go through the mechanics of designing the pad. If you really want to know technically what I'm trying to engineer to work like, hey, other Dylan, 20-month resub, and Just Space has a 13er in there. Loving the Ken Bauer sock stash? Check this out. Here, this is what it's supposed to be like. K33 in this SSDO is based off of a Lockheed concept from the late 90s, early 2000s called the X-33. The X-33 in the Venture Star program. This is a little desk kind of model of what it was supposed to look like. I'm trying to build this thing. It's basically something to take it vertical, and then the transporter erector moves down, and then we go to launch. This pad was made, but the program got canceled before the thing could fly, because of course it did. Why not? Bird. And there's a version of what I'm trying to make. But the problem is that this pad is at ground level. The launch is at ground level right here. So they dug like a 40, 50 foot flame trench for this thing to fly, right? The thing about that is you can't dig in KSP. You can't dig into the ground. The ground's solid. So I have to raise the entire pad up to get it to work correctly. Hence that big checkerboard ramp that I have on the side. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to hook up here. In these pictures right here, NASA was documenting them doing load simulator tests for the pad to make sure that it could turn the X-33 upright. If you look, the load simulator is carrying 2 solid concrete blocks right there. Imagine how heavy those things actually are. Those things are probably really frigging heavy. I mean, in fact, I don't even know if those ratchet straps will hold the thing if the concrete block decides to go somewhere else. Banana. They're strapped in, but they're on that big bracket right there. You see that? So, yeah, Devin, if you like rockets and you like the mechanical engineering that goes behind building pads and then, like, rockets, so like an end-to-end thing of, like, what it takes to engineer a spacecraft, I really focus on the engineering to get my spacecrafts to do what I want. And I use it as a way to teach people, A, how the space program works, B, how rockets are engineered, and C, how the entire logistics of the project works. Long story short, dude, I'm a frigging huge nerd. Like, it's disgusting how bad it is. I'm not like I'm not like one of those people that's like, I love science. No. I'm like past pocket protector, thick glasses nerd, dude. We're like worse than that. we're way past that, Jerry. Hey, Kerbal King, 35-month resub. They told me to donate the hat I have to someone that is a future BRCC drinker. Oh, that's cool. So right now, what I'm doing, Devin, is I'm trying to find the pivot point. I'm trying to find the pivot point by using some kind of placeholder parts for the mechanics of how the pad's going to turn. When I started this game, I obviously need to start simple, but I want to do this one day. Right on. Yeah, no, keep it simple. Don't try to do this when you start playing KSP, unless you're an engineer, and even then, it's still going to be difficult. Is this the big SSTO? No, Kerbal King, this is the small one. The first thing that I'm going to do, because you guys extended the SSTO contract deadline to July, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push for this thing for operation. I need to get some flight time on this thing. It means operational missions. Commercial missions, crew rotations to the station, etc., when I'm confident in doing that, etc., etc. Been into space and rockets for a couple of months now. Right on. Hope you stick with it. It's awesome. You're going to do mechanics in college in September. Cool. Okay, I need the pivot point to be I want the pivot point to be down. I don't want it to be up above the pad. So now let's move this into position and figure out where we're at. Okay, now where does that get us? Okay. Right there, aligned on the center axis of these Oscar B fuel tanks is where I need to be. Perfect. I've been toying with the idea of a truck verticated and launch rockets in KSP because of mission mode. It's possible, Tars. So you're trying to do something like Astra. Astra Space is trying to do something like that. Literally, their entire launch pad, mission control, rocket, and transporter erector can fit inside of TEUs. They can fit inside of shipping containers. I'm more looking into the planet sides of things and how we can become... It's how we can go out there and explore more, not stuck here on Earth. Yep, you're in the right place, Devin. Can we keep the mustache? I'll hold out as long as I can, Barrelicious. As long as I can, dude. Okay, so that's good. Now I gotta make sure that this actual thing that we made here is right for the job. Alright, I had this down here like this. It was one tick downwards. So if it's one tick downwards, right? That means we gotta move that docking port up, which means we gotta move this back like this, which means we're not aligned there anymore. Which means this entire structure, the entire pivot point needs to go further that way. Okay, so now just move the pivot point around. Can you vote on it? It's not up to you guys to vote on that, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. That ain't up to you. That ain't up to you, boys and girls. Question, was that transporter supposed to have wheels on it? Or how did they hold it up even with the rest of the terrain? It's just attached to hydraulics and a pivot T, man. It's just an erector. It's not a TE. It doesn't move. Next, we choose your haircut. You guys chose this haircut. I wanted the mullet. But no! Of course, how selfish of me. Let's do all the things that you want to do. What happens if I move that so they're coplanar? Where does that get us with our pivot point? Oh. Oh, but see, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. It's got to go up. Meaning that we got to go this way. 1, 2, and then we got to go up with it. Huh. Wait, so is the rocket plane going to be attached to a big rocket? If you get what I mean? Sorry, I'm very, very new to rockets in space, even though it's been months. No, Devin, the type of rocket that I'm building here is called a single stage to orbit. So, okay, here, take a look, man. Peep this. Open up your knowledge chamber here, we'll go. So, you have a rocket like the Saturn V, for instance, right? I have plenty of pictures here. Saturn V is a 3-stage to orbit rocket. I mean, technically 2, but we'll just say it's 3 stages. So you have your first stage down here. You have your second stage right there. The third stage is this cylinder right here. And then you have your lander inside of the cone section. And then you have your spacecraft where the humans go up here at the very top, right? That's a 3-stage to orbit, okay? Now, you have the Saturn 1B here. The Saturn 1B is the Saturn V's little brother. You have a first stage down here, that part that says United States on it. And then you have a second stage right here. When the rocket's flying up into space, the first stage separates from the second stage. They dump it. Why? Well, to get into space, you need to go fast. 17,500 miles an hour, or about, if you use metric, 28,000 kilometers an hour. You need to go fast. So what rockets do is they dump excess weight as they go up into space. You don't need the first stage down here. The first stage was only designed to get you up in the air. Second stage is designed to get you going fast, right? So you dump the empty fuel tanks, right? It's much more efficient that way. Now the problem with that is that you dump your first stage into the ocean, right? I don't like that. Not a big fan. So this is the Saturn 1B is a 2-stage to orbit rocket. Saturn V is a 3-stage to orbit rocket because it needs to go further. It has more stages because it goes to the moon. Saturn 1B can only go up into space, and that's about it. What I'm making here is called a single stage to orbit. So it's a 1-stage rocket, meaning I launch it off the pad and it flies all the way up into space. This was a concept that NASA and Lockheed Martin rolled out in the 90s. This is a single stage to orbit. So think of like if you took the space shuttle, which the space shuttle itself is a 1.5 stage to orbit because it lights its upper stage engines on the pad, right? If you think something like the space shuttle, if you took the space shuttle, the orange tank, and the boosters, and you just combined it all into one thing. And you took away the solid boosters, obviously, because it's different fuel. So it's like if you took the orange thing and the white plane-looking thing, and you mash them together. You take off the pad, and you fly all the way up into space. And then, I don't dump anything in the ocean, right? So then it comes back down, and it lands on the runway, just like the space shuttle. And then I tow it back to the pad, and I launch it again. So what are your thoughts on Falcon 9? I love it. I've watched every single Falcon 9 launch since 2013. I have permission from SpaceX to cover them here on stream. I've watched every single one. I haven't missed one. So just combining it all together. Now, Devin, in rocket science, that's easier said than done. Okay? Wouldn't the shuttle be 2.5 since it dumps the orange tank? I mean, Sea Dragon, the tank isn't a stage. The shuttle engines are. The tank is feeding the shuttle engines. I would call it a 1.5 stage to orbit. If you count the shuttle's orbiter maneuvering system, then it's a 2.5 stage to orbit. That's me, yep. All right, so where the spacecraft attaches is here. So anything that's being highlighted right now, save for the truck up at the front, that's the part that flies into space. So like I have the shuttle part is right here, but I combined it in with the fuel tanks, right? Down here, this entire shell, inside of this entire shell is just fuel tanks. There's all fuel tanks in there, and then there's the engines. Here's my adapter here to get it to hook up to the pad, and then once again, we'll open up the payload bay up at the top, just like the space shuttle, put the payload in with a crane that we engineered. There's no cranes in KSP, you have to make your own. Put the payload in, hook the thing up, turn it upright, not with the truck. I mean, we could launch it with the truck attached to it, but I don't think it'd get into space. I don't think that's very aerodynamic. The truck would separate, and then we launch it. Hey, Kyle, what's up, man? Thanks for the bits. Appreciate it. Appreciate you teaching me, and by the way, taking your time off stream, showing me how it works. That's what this stream is, Devin. It's an edutainment stream. That's what I do. I take time and I answer questions from the chat, and we work, we do engineering, we talk about rockets, talk about cars, racing. This is a
Discovery, go
STEM
and
stream,
throttle up.
dude. I use it as an opportunity to kind of sucker people into liking rocket science. Don't tell them that though, Devin. Don't say anything. They're listening. Shh, quiet. Just between you and me. Except for the late night chaos. I do more run-of-the-mill streaming content, I guess, late at night. But yeah, during the day, game face, education, all day. Bro, that's Stash. You love it, Airborne. Don't lie to me. You love it. It's dope. Hey, Tipsy. 25-month resub. Good day. Hope all is well. Always, dude.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Hey, JSP. Welcome to Mission Control. You're going throttle up. Thanks, man. Don't get me started on Ferrari. What, how they freaking choke all the damn time? Okay, that's where this needs to be. And then I need to get basically the bottom circle here on the SSTO lined up with that circle right there. Yes, Miu's alright. I mean, the car is just not dialed in, dude. I think Ferrari is just kind of like, do the best we can with this and then wait till next year. I'm pretty sure that's where they're at. Right? Like, I'm fairly confident that's what's going on.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
This is gonna be difficult. Hey, Tipsy, gifted a sub to Devin. There you go. What's the fairing for? Kerbal King, that fairing is basically a slug. It's a big solid piece that mimics the launch table from Freedom's pad, dude. So this has same vessel collision on it. The root part has same vessel collision on it. And then the fairing here on the SSTO has same vessel collision on it. It's basically just, it's the launch stand. That's all. You didn't need to. They do that, Devin. Just get used to it. You should see how awkward it is when freaking talk about gifting subs like this. They do that. Just let them do their thing, or else they'll keep doing it. Yeah, that's the best spot for the pivot, I think. Cool. All right, that's gonna have to do. So it's also gonna rotate. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this whole thing will just like that. See what I'm talking about? I just saw why Elon wanted a Starlink antenna attached to the SpaceX hull. EJ equals genius. What? What did I do, Kuro? What if you re-engineered it to use ground anchors instead? Yeah, Tessa, for sure. I know Kerbal and all, but this is relevant to your interest. The V10 Power 2004 Shelby Cobra concept is up for sale. Comes Carol Shelby approved. Oh yeah, I remember this thing. I remember seeing this thing at auto shows. Or at least pictures of it at an auto show. I haven't seen the real one. Cool.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Hey, Tin Can. Jack Ray. Gifted 5 subs. Tin Can, I'm building a launch pad for my space plane, dude. I like building the pads too. Yeah, as if building a plane that flies into space and comes back down wasn't hard enough. I like making the rules difficult. I like challenging myself. I like pushing myself to learn. because that's how you get better at this. Alright, so that's in the correct position, but this is not tall enough. Alright. I mean, I appreciate that. Looks cool. Thanks, man. Long story short, Tin, I'm trying to replicate the X-33's launch pad as best as I can. The X-33 was an experimental suborbital hopping vehicle that was supposed to be a prototype for a single stage to orbit concept called Venture Star. And the problem is that I have pictures of its pad. There it is. They built the pad for it. They just never flew it because, of course, they didn't. Politics. What do you want? But they dug a hole into the ground. I can't do that in KSP, so I have to lift the entire pad up off the ground. That's why I have that checkerboard ramp at one end. Did you get that plane to work, Tin, or what? Yeah, you remember Venture Star? Alright, cool. Needs no introduction then. Where did they build that? Edwards Air Force Base, Kerbal King. Can you show off the panel heat shields? Yeah, sure. So, all these panels at the front are working like tiles. So there's a couple of... Devin, there's a couple of different reasons. Alright? Kerbal is not like the end-all be-all, the godsend for aerodynamics. Alright? Aerodynamics work a little bit differently than they do in KSP. It's a game. It's a video game. Video games are not 100% realistic, right? They're close. It's good enough. Good enough to get the point across. Now, the X-37, or not the X-37, the X-33 in real life had the outside of the shell was made in a very specific way to balance the design, okay? So, if you think about like Tin Can, you haven't played any tonight? Got a great headache, so I'm taking it easy. That's good. Don't try to play Kerbal with a headache. Good call. So, there's all these different things that the real one does to try and balance it. What do I mean balance it? Well, planes that have a heavy tail don't fly very well. And I have 2 Mack trucks worth of mass sitting off the back of mine. So I have to find a way to balance it. So what I did was, I intentionally made these out of metal panels. I made the front aero shell out of metal. And that does 2 things. One, there's a huge weight on the nose of the vehicle, and it counterbalances my engines out back. Second thing is, actually it's threefold. Second thing is that these things create drag. They create a lot of drag off the front of the vehicle, which is something the real one would have done. The real X-33, had it ever flown, was designed to create a lot of drag back here and a lot of drag up at the front. Third, these work as a thermal protection system. The tiles absorb the re-entry heating, and they disperse the re-entry heating down with other tiles. Like, it'll disperse the heat off the ends. Like real thermal tiles. Like I said, I like to take real-life aerodynamic concepts and find a way to get them to work in Kerbal. I don't want this thing to fly like I made something that looks like an X-33, right? And it almost works. No. I want this thing to fly exactly like how the X-33 was supposed to fly. And we've pretty much emulated that for the most part. How do I know how the X-33 is going to fly? I know, in case anybody's asking that question. Well, remember when I told you that I'm a huge nerd? Yeah, remember that part? I downloaded all the NASA technical resources for how the vehicle dynamics were projected to work. Now, I get it, they're not real. Like, these are all projections and analysis, right? Hey, Morbius, 13-month resub. I'm on stock aerodynamics, Sparrow. I fool the game into flying correctly. I do my research. I look at structural and technical diagrams as much as we can. Engine diagrams, tank diagrams, how they all got put together. These are all concepts from the real program. It's all available. It's all public resource. You can look through it as much as you want. There's the pictures of the damn pad, right down to the umbilicals, how they're going to fuel the vehicle up. It's all the resources are out there. How the pad was set up, how they configured it, mission control, operations, stuff like that. It's all here. There is one. Here we go. The aerodynamic uncertainty model, which shows aerodynamic uncertainty from wind tunnel testing compared to other prototype spacecraft that are lifting bodies. So, like, we have the HL-10, M2F3, X-24AB. Orbiter is the space shuttle. Just anything that's labeled Orbiter is the space shuttle. I do my research, I do my homework. And it makes a better stream because of it. I really want this game now. I thought it was going to be a full simple game, but you're showing me you can make this game more realistic. Oh, Devin, I'm not even getting into mods. You want to get into mods? You want to make it... Kerbin is smaller than Earth. It's easier to get into space in stock KSP than it is in real life. You can get Realism Overhaul and make it really friggin' complicated if you want to. There's a whole slew of mods that make the game more difficult. I play the stock game because I like playing the stock game and showing people what can be done with stock. That's just me, though. There are plenty of other streamers out there that use tons of mods, and rightfully so. I wish you the best of luck. Thanks. If you stick around, you'll see it work eventually. I have a deadline. Devin, I'm stupid. Chat, Chat votes on when I need to get this stuff done by, and they fund me. I can edit funds into the game. They not only fund my space program, but they pick the direction. And I have deadlines, and I take a hit in game if I don't hit the deadline. So yeah, that's crazy. It's a crazy rule, but I like it. It's fun. I like playing that way. I told you, Dev, this was supposed to be difficult. I make these rules real tough. I like challenging myself. It's fun. Yeah, look at what Lul said. There's all kinds of great mods out there, and there's tons of great resources for KSP. Anyway, let's figure this out now. I have to redo my fairing glider here. We gotta redo it a little bit. I'm just gonna make it a straight cylinder, I think. I'm not gonna go with the hourglass adapter anymore. I never had a problem with that. So the reason why I put this recessed thing right in here is so the shuttle engines could gimbal, and if they potentially gimbaled coming off the pad, they wouldn't tip the pad when we separate. But that never happened. It never happened, and it never will happen, because the way I see it is if the SAS goes to full lock coming off the pad, the least of my worries is the fact that my engine tipped some of the pad. I should probably worry about how my rocket, after it lifted off, is going to do this. Is going to do a backflip and get a 5.0 from the Russian judge as it crashes into the ground. What's that, Thomas? Oh! Kobe's making PT-109. That's cool. Dead right, your mindset is good. Never limit yourself, always push. Devin, I've been streaming for 8 years, and I've been reading about space and learning about it for the better part of a decade. I'm never taking my foot off the gas. Screw that. I'm from England, so it's almost 3 a.m., so I might have to leave. Yeah, dude, go get some sleep. Don't waste your time with me. Go get some sleep, dude. Okay, so I'm gonna need to extend this a little bit. Let me take a look at my reference one more time. Thanks, Bright. Appreciate you. Okay. Yes, I see it. Alright, I'll catch you later. I'll definitely be in the next stream. What do you live next? I stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday from around noontime, which I think is noontime for me, which is 6 for you, to about 4 a.m. your time. I stream 70 hours a week, something like that. I love what I do. Yeah, I told you. Nerd. Tori responded. Oh. Not true. We have been competing directly for years. Sometimes we win, other times you're the better value. I don't expect to win every time. Why do you? wouldn't that be an actual monopoly if you did? Can't we both focus on helping humanity towards its destiny in space? Yeah, once again, Thomas, I agree with him. I mean, I also agree with Elon, but I also agree with him. This is so difficult. I'm not taking a side on this, dude. Screw that. Hell no. I'm not taking a side. I'm on the side of space. Alright. So, I need to move this docking port up to here, right? And then we need to redo this fairing a little bit. So we got to move the fairing up here like that. And we always should allow a little bit of overlap with the fairing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, we're going to move it down like this, right? I'm going to move this out of the way temporarily, right? Are my pivot points lined up? They are. All right. Alright, so let me go in here like this, see if we can change the color of that. Yeah, it looks a little bit better because I have to clip the engine plate. So take this, now move that up into position. Does it line up? Yeah, it's pretty much perfect. Okay. Alright, we don't need the alignment stuff anymore. Let me just make sure that that post is in the right spot. Yep. Okay, math checks out. That's Tin Can. He's in here right now, Swishio. He said he didn't want to talk about it because he had a headache. I actually asked him. Yeah, he was in here right now. Don't freaking Reddit stalk the guy. Jeez. Swishio saw your post in Swishio saw your post in Kerbal Academy. Whoops. That's embarrassing. Your landing gear, dude. Your rear landing gear, Tin Can, in the Kerbal Academy thing needs to be just behind your center of mass. Awkward. God damn it, Swishio! Stop doing that. I'm sorry. It's funny to me. That makes me laugh. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Oh my god! Stop! I take the cringe crown though. Hang on.
And he doesn't get rid of it.
No, what is
I'm
it?
not just a broadcaster. I'm on right.
That's
Right
it.
now.
Here we go.
Dude.
Did not hold the X button for the rack catch, or perhaps
Both these guys 1-0 so far in their groups.
only a three-man rush.
Yo, like this game is so gosh darn bad, bro. Oh my gosh! Stop!
This game is
Getting out
so
of his head right
bad.
now.
Like this game is so bad.
That's still that's still funny. It's still funny. Oh my goodness. Yo, this game is so gosh darn bad, bro. Oh my god! Stop! This game is so bad. It's so stupid. Oh, I'm a horrible person. Okay. What did I miss? Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right, so we got to make the launch box for this now. This game is so gosh darn bad, bro. Okay. We got to make the launch box for this. No, not the lunch box. I mean, I am kind of hungry, but that's not what we're making. All right, so let me just make sure we have the landing gear marked correctly. Okay, so I have these panels here marking X's in the ground where the landing gear is for the SSTO. That's fine. And then I think another thing that I'm going to do is mark here, just with an I-beam. I need to mark where the body flap is. Mark. Because we got to make sure that the launch structure doesn't hit that. So right there should be the correct spacing. That's fine. I'm going to give it... Yeah, I'll just give it a little bit of leeway. That's perfect. Oh, hi, Mark. What's new with you? How's your Mark life? Alright, so we can get rid of the prototype here. Let me just rotate this downwards, make sure that I'm getting rid of the right thing. Oh, not that again. Alright, so I'm just getting it out of the way. So we have all the clearance. And yeah, that should be everything that we need. So I'm gonna get rid of that on the old transporter erector. A couple of things that I'm gonna do here is build out the rest of this. So we need we need something like that. There we go. Sawyer, before doing Space News, it came up, that conversation that we had with Sergei Krikalev. You remember that? Where we didn't know what to say, and we just ended up talking about VR headsets with him for like 20 minutes? Do you remember that Do you remember that? Oh, hi, flying cheese plate. Tori and Elon are fighting again. I know, Jack. It's all so tiresome, man. Jeez. I'm getting freaking... I agree with both of them. I hate sitting here and trying to analyze everything that, like, with the damn Twitter thread. I'm like, guys, Jesus. This is getting out of hand. Are they really fighting, though? They... Yeah, I mean, I guess they aren't, but... Alright, this needs to go back a little bit. So I don't want that clipping into that there. Okay, perfect. So... Oh. Alright, so now the attachment struts can go. There. Perfect. They're having a tussle, mate. I just can't believe that, Devious. I can't, like...
Elon's super feisty. Like, somebody lit a fire on in his tail, dude. I mean, then again, we're expecting, you know, underachievement. Elon Musk seems kind of like the kind of guy that has pretty damn unshakable conviction. And he seems like the kind of guy that once he has his mind made up about something, it's very, very, very difficult to change. Because that's that kind of stubbornness that made SpaceX, you know what I mean? SpaceX is the way that it is because of him, obviously. You just responded with get a room? Why, Jaka, I said not to participate, man. Don't become part of the zoo. What are you, nuts? Are you crazy? So these are access panels. So the well, not access panels. These panels are basically designed so the SSTO doesn't fall. The landing gear doesn't go in here. We don't need it falling down. Oh, okay, Jack. I'm like, oh, don't. Stop! You're tearing us apart! You're tearing me apart, Lisa! Lisa! Tearing me apart! Alright, there we go. It's coming along very nicely. Alright. Alright, so what I'm going to do temporarily is basically just rotate that port down. And I think I might need the prototype back in here, now that I'm looking at this. Did you ever take a look at what you sent me? What I sent you? RB... Yeah, those pictures of the guy doing the thing? Yeah, so? What? Yeah, it was leaked. I mean, alright. It's really not anything that I didn't already have access to, but okay. Like, I'll be real with you, man. I'll be real with you, man. That's been there. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to start building out the launch table here. I had some problems with the launch table on the earlier version of the pad. It basically liked to flex. Even these outside parts. It liked to kind of bend around. And it was, for whatever reason, it was super susceptible to torsion, which is strange, but it's okay. But we can fix that here. Perfect. I'm going to build a nice, strong base plate of prefamulated amulite, surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing, in such a way that the two launch table spurving bearings are in a direct line with the panometric fan. Sorry if I already explained. Why did you end up rolling your own pad? I missed the transition. MotoKid, it was a decision that I made based off of the fact that I can't make one pad for the small and the big SSTO. I really can't do that. How am I going to do that? Right? SSDOs, unfortunately, need kind of a specialized pad, especially ones that are 2 different sizes. So I thought it would be a better solution to make a self-contained pad for the small one and see if any technologies could transfer over to making a big one later. And if we transfer the technology over and the pad ends up being a ton of parts because the big one is, well, bigger, I can always cut the ramp off of this design and go back to hanging it off the end of the pad. Hanging it off the end of the pad would be more useful for the big one because the launch pad will be less parts. It'll be as many parts as this pad. So we kind of made the decision to make this pad for the small SSDO its own self-contained system. So when it made time to make have the big one come around, I could try to make this into a big pad. I could try to make a bigger version of this. And if that doesn't work, I can just hang it off the ramp because I know that works. And that way I can save part count. See what I'm saying? Hey Tacos, what's going on? How are you? Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird conclusion to come to, but it's weird because it looks like Condor's pad, doesn't it? Sorry, my back's kind of giving me some trouble right now. Of course it is, but it's fine. Tori's response. Yep, doing well, thank you. Well, Motorkid, I already did load testing. I put this thing out. Not even a movement between Time Warp and Fizz Sim. It just sits there. Not even like a jump, nothing. I used the same kind of building mechanism, or the building method that I did for the last version of Condor's pad, which was, I never crack and struck that pad once. This thing is designed to, it's really, 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 really designed to be, it's very strong. It is expensive though. These fuel tanks are 9,000 a pop. But we have a low part count. The pad being more expensive kind of sucks, but it's a lower part count. So lower part count means because the game's not going as slow, that means I can throw this thing up here a ton of times and reuse the pad over and over and over and over and over again. Right? And the more we use a pad, the more we get our money's worth. Man, Tori's really high-roading Elon Musk, huh? Alright. What's that, Ref? Blue Origin CEO Bob Smith on Richard Branson's flight. That's going to be before Jeff Bezos' flight. We wish him a great and safe flight, but they're not flying above the Kármán line, and it's a very different experience. What happened? Why does everyone hate each... What's... I don't know. I don't understand. Why does everyone hate each other all of a sudden? What happened? Everybody's all pissed about everything all the time. What like, I don't understand. Tory Bruno and Elon Musk were good. They were good for a second. Mercury's in retrograde. Sure.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Is this re-entry? Because things are getting heated. Unbelievable. Hey. Bad Gamer Jesse. 9-month resub. How's the pad? Still a bit stiff. No, it's coming along good, man. Yeah, I guess, Cape Man. Tori Bruno's getting mad. I can tell. Bandit, I don't think he's getting mad. Tori Bruno's not the kind of guy to lose his cool. Nah, he ain't losing his cool. I honestly, it comes off like he's not, like he's a little bit on the disinterested side. Like, really? Really? We're doing this? Really? Really? We're gonna do this on Twitter right now? Okay. All right. Like, really? Really? All right, fine. I'm about to end this man's whole career. I can't really move those in much further. I need the prototype back in here. Like, I appreciate that Elon's willing to throw down for space, lol dog. But I've been saying what I've pretty much been saying this entire day. I agree with Tori Bruno, and I also agree with Elon Musk. I agree with Elon about reusability, reusable spacecraft. I absolutely 130% agree with him. But I also agree with Tori Bruno that competition is required to get us to that point. I mean, the whole reason why SpaceX exists is Elon thought he could do it better than somebody else. Literally competition, you know? But on the other hand, you know, I can't help but want more than just, oh, we're gonna dump the engines off the back of the, rocket and pick them up with a helicopter from ULA, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of directly 100% in the middle of the road here. Artificial competition at the cost of tax dollars. Yeah, Colton, you can beat that drum if you want, but if you've ever flown on a commercial airliner, you'd be very hypocritical. Or a railroad. Or the train. Yeah. Because both of those systems in the United States came at the behest of government spending and the tax dollar. So, I mean, yeah, I guess. Oh, gosh, you know, tax dollar's bad, right? I don't think that's correct. The commercial airline industry started as a subsidy for the government to contract airplane companies to build planes that have long distances to move the mail. And that morphed into strategic bombing, and that morphed into the airline industry, dude. Oh, you're just trying to figure it out. Oh, okay, never mind. What's that, Jackal? I don't like seeing my parents arguing. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I want to understand what Elon's specifically getting at, dude, because I know he wouldn't just make stuff up. It seems like what this is coming down to is interpretation of contracts more than how, like, the actual contract works. That's what I'm starting to see here. Tori Bruno said the tour is still on. Yeah. I don't know, man. Airborne, it just seems like a whole crap sandwich. Dude, I'd love to sit down and talk to both of them, Bandit. I would love to do it. And, like, dude, it wouldn't even do just like, oh, EJ loves to do it. If Timmy did that, I would be like, yeah, this is awesome. I love every second of this. I think Tori Bruno has proven himself as somebody that's really worthy of the cause, man. I always say, like, what he's done at ULA is unbelievable. You guys don't know how much people just badmouth that company 5-6 years ago. Like, everybody thought, like, oh, it's a waste of time, this company sucks, blah, 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 blah. that girder segment's still gonna get in the way of the wing. Oh, Nana. Elon wants ULA to step up the game. Yeah. Hey, Rocket Guy. Until reusable space infrastructure is set up in space, there will always be a place and a massive need for expendable launch vehicles. So that is where Centaur 5 comes into play for enabling reusable space platforms to assist in cost reusable. Yeah, Rocket Guy, I'm in on that. ULA is pushing for a different kind of reusability. You probably already saw this, but yeah, I've seen it, dude. Pretty nuts, huh? I have so much I want to say, but it's a lot of Rule 8. Discussed it last night when we recorded a new Talking Space. Boy, that was a legitimately fun conversation. Wait. Wait, what did I say that was Rule 8? The spending? Like, I mean, Sawyer, I'll be honest with you guys. Where I stand is that I don't mind defense spending. Something good usually comes out of it, aside from the bomb part. But I know people are going to disagree with that, and that's cool. Totally okay. Totally cool. Not gonna lie, Elon is talking crap on the FAA, especially about exclusion zone, is really pissing you off. Yeah, Ian, but the FAA made the TFR smaller. Go look. Go see if you can look up the TFR for the second launch date. They made the TFR smaller. They listened to him, dude. Which I'm sorry, I think that's funny as hell. I think that's hilarious, man. Yeah, go look, dude. Somebody linked it in chat the other day. They're like, wow, the TFR is smaller. I'm like, what? They actually did it? Hey, guys, give me 1 second. My back's starting to be a pain in the butt. Or in the back. I'll be right back, 1 second, okay? I'm back. I got the Bengay. Carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel. Get some Bengay. Quick, we need Bengay. Don't ever hurt your back. Yeah. Common sense isn't so common. Well, Tin Can, part of what I do here is the way I teach things is I teach you to turn the gears. I'm not just telling you that this is how this works, or you know, like, hey, this is what you should think. I teach people to use their brains and be resourceful. Use common sense. Figure things out. Examine primary sources. Use your noodle and think about stuff. You know? I consider diversification. Both companies have DoD contracts, and they both have different mission architecture, meaning in the event of a failure. Yeah, redundant to similar architecture, Sawyer. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. Use the brain. Also, Peter Beck tweeted, what, did he throw his hat into the ring? Nah, he already ate it. Dude, look at that. That's something else. Nice. NG-15's mission is complete. Can I work on this? Can I work on this, or...? The third longest Cygnus mission to date. Cool. No, sorry, Space News. Part 2. We're past part 2, man. We're like on part 20 for the day. I'm getting confused. How does licensing work for rocket launching? That's a complicated process, T-Man. It's complicated. Yeah, it's complicated. That's the way to say that. Alright, so I'm having some problems here. And I don't know why I didn't have these clearance problems on the previous pad, but... this would need to be like this. But if it's like that, then it's going to clip. It's going to go into the engine, so that won't work. Nine. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Let me tell you, business is booming. I feel like Elon is expecting unrealistic things. That's kind of his MO. Like, I don't know why we were surprised by this, but alright. Alright, let's go out here. Like that. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. I see what's going on in here. So sorry to interrupt. I mean, guys, fellas, at the end of the day, I'll take what ULA is doing. I'll take what SpaceX is doing. But most preferably, I'll take what they're both doing at the same time. I want more rockets, not less. That's always been what I've said. More rockets, more people throwing their hat into the ring, will give you more competition, and that'll get us quicker to theoretical full reusable vehicles. It's already happening. Relativity rolled out a fully reusable vehicle. Firefly's working on some crazy stuff, and obviously SpaceX. ULA is working on a different type of reusability. But it, like I said, it basically boils down to, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you liked less rockets. Nah, Draco, you love it. The board, it's board approved, okay? Like, that's why I got pissed off when everybody started knocking SLS. That really made me angry, because these morons don't realize that them being a fanboy is going to could potentially jeopardize, you know, our lunar missions, which, I mean, yeah, basically what happened. You know, that's why I got annoyed with that. I don't like people crap talking about a rocket. It's like the peanut gallery has no idea how complicated this stuff is. I respect anybody that has the balls to throw their hat into the ring and build a rocket on their own dime. They have my undying respect. That's not easy to do, and if you have the stones to put capital behind it, you deserve to be respected. Once again, I do not think people realize how difficult this actually is. And I'm not trying to like gatekeep or sound like a jerk, but seriously, I think people vastly underestimate how complicated this stuff is. Yeah, it's yeah, Rocky Guy, I don't get it. It's strange. You're building a rocket now. It can't be that hard. In a video game where it does all the hard stuff for you, man. It's difficult. Damn it, Lapsod. Damn it, man. Sir, this is a Wendy's. It's going through the damn wing. Why? Have they considered just sending it to space? Not space stuff, but train stuff. 4014 cab view. Ugh, don't do that to me, Draco. Not right now. Not right now. I have to make some progress on this damn pad. Over the past, like, week, I've placed, like, 4 I-beams, damn it. Don't do this to me. I don't know how I'm gonna get around that without making this look goofy. Rocket Guy, how you doing? How's work been, man? I haven't seen you. Haven't seen you in a little bit. Just on a side note. Stupid question. Why are some wings on the top, some in the middle, and some under the plane body? I'm trying, Swishio, the wings and the panels are in certain places to try and get it to fly like the X-33's aero shell. I'm trying to impart forces, certain lift forces and certain drag forces in certain areas to get it to fly like the real one. That's the reason. And part of that is placing the center of lift in the same spot where it would be on the real one. Sometimes that means putting wings on the top. That's what happens when you get into building your own aero shell. You know, like that's what happens when I try to build it like the real one. It's just kind of like, once again, I'm not trying to get it to fly well in KSP. I'm trying to get it to fly like the real one, right? I've been practically living at the office these past couple of weeks. Work is real good, but so many things and not enough hours in the day. Dude, I hear you. I hear you. If the shuttle was operational and they had Orion, could they just send an Orion and a lander out to the moon? They would need a transfer stage, T-Man, and the shuttle doesn't go beyond a 400 or 500 kilometer circular Earth orbit. Oh, on real life planes? Depends on what it's designed to do, Swishio. Yeah, it depends on what it's designed to do. Like, okay. An example here would be like this. So the C-130 is an American cargo plane, right? The U.S. military's cargo plane, right? So it's using propellers and the wing is on top. Why do you think that is? Now, wings being on top are better for cargo. If you look at most cargo planes have the wings on top because having your center of lift above your center of mass is very stable, right? The C-130 has propellers. It has propellers, and it has a wing on the top because it's part of the reason. Now, cargo stability, that's a big one. But it's designed to be able to land anywhere on anything. Now, Swishio, with a plane like this that's designed to land on basically dirt, right? So the C-130 is rated to land on what's called an unprepared surface, right? In a plane that's designed to land on dirt, you think having a jet engine here and having a jet engine low on the wings is a good idea? Nah, right? No, absolutely not. It's absolutely a terrible idea. The propellers are there to be able to withstand, you know, like landing on dirt and landing on grass and whatever. So with this, you know, having the wing up high and using propellers makes this a really good plane. It makes it a really good plane that could be forward deployed on the battlefield, right? That's why the wings are up there. And with a cargo plane, having your center of lift, once again, above center of mass is right. It's not right, it's more stable, excuse me. It can handle better center of mass movement because the center of mass only moves down. Now, long story short, that can lead to more stability, right? Now, if you compare that to, say, oh, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another plane. Dude, that truck, awesome truck, huh? Yeah, the propeller didn't want to strike the ground, obviously. Oh, nice blazer. Cool. And it looks like a Datsun. We could compare it, Swish, to like a 747, I suppose. A 7.4 has the engines mounted low. That's because with this type of design, having your engines mounted low on the wing means that your center of thrust is way below your center of mass. So that means you can actually use the throttle to control angle of attack on top of your wing surfaces out back. It means less angle of incidence on the rear wings, more or less. Meaning you can use the engine to nose the plane up or throttle down to nose the plane down. That makes it nice and stable and easy to land. And that coupled with the tricycle gear is basically the design. I mean, Boeing nailed it with the 707 and later the 737 and then later this. They nailed the design. That's the design that everybody uses. But like passenger planes have the wings at the bottom. Why? If wings at the top are more stable. There are passenger planes that have the wings on the top. Hang on, I gotta check something. So there are passenger planes that have wings on the top. The Q400. So the Dash 8, that is the wings on the top. It really comes down to the design, I guess, and what the plane's trying to do. I forgot the name of the plane, and I'll be honest, I googled Sky King plane because I'm a horrible person. Rip Sky King. Rip Sky King, bros. Those layover the campsite at the music festival I go to at Donington. They're loud. Yeah, dude, turboprops with 6 blades, Dan, and variable pitch. Yeah, when they have the pitch cranked on these things. Loud. Yeah, Prey, that's another one with cargo. Yeah, you want your cargo. You don't want a big ramp to get off the ground with cargo, Swish. With that being said, there are 747 cargo planes, but with like a C-17 or a C-5 or a C-130, you want a small ramp. A small ramp off the back to get stuff in and out. It makes it easier to load and unload. And it's not just the Americans that came up with that. There's the A400 from Europe, which is kind of similar to it's not similar in design to the C-17, it's similar in function. And then there's the Antonov AN-12. The AN-12 is another plane with a very similar design. Pretty much my alarm clock every morning. Right on. Yeah, shady, right? It's usually for safety and ground clearance. Most passenger planes have wings on the bottom to mitigate debris impacts into the passenger section. Wings take the brunt of the impact of debris first. Also, low mount wings provide a better dihedral design. There you go. Pilot wings keep the fuselage low, so ingress and egress of cargo is much easier for military. And hedral wings keep up maneuverability. There you go. And all this stuff works in KSP. These fundamental this fundamental aero stuff works perfectly in KSP. Isn't there a J-22 that looks similar to a C-130? A J-22? Speaking of prop planes, you saw a PC-12 the other day. Oh, cool! Dude, that's wicked. I'll take that. I like that one. I like that one. I want that one. Oh. Alright. Oh, there it goes. Bye-bye. That's a cool plane. That's a really cool plane, dude. Oh, goose it. It's crazy that one propeller is moving that whole thing. It's pretty rad. That's cool. That's really cool. Thanks for showing me that. Their sound, it's alright. We're never gonna get anything done. I'm never gonna get anything done. Man, it's not my fault. Not my fault, Jabba. Hey, even I get boarded from time to time, okay? Yeah, that'll work. Oh, I've almost got it to where that I-beam's out of the way of the stupid wing. It's close, but it's... yeah. Damn wings. maybe if I just move these in just a little bit, they wouldn't get in the way of the rocket motor or anything. Right? It's no good. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. New pad design keeping the SSTO dream alive. How's the newest release? 112 is good, man. They added Kerbal alarm clock in the game. A lot of small optimizations. There's a water spawn point. You gotta go find it. It's behind a fog of war, believe it or not. You gotta go find. They added 4 launch sites, dude. Now, don't get me wrong, they're just like Woomera. They're just a pad sitting in different spots. But one of them is a pad that's sitting on water that's near KSC. I'm not going to say where. You have to go find it. So we have a water spawner point, which is pretty cool. Yeah, 112 is good, man. I really can't complain. We should have a hotfix coming out. They delayed the release of the ground anchors, but Rocket Guy, crazy thing is that, just on a side note, this is the last update for KSP. Yeah, it's the last update for KSP. Some of the developers are leaving squad, and then a lot of them are going to join Intercept and work on KSP 2. This is the last major release. Sad, but hey, new chapter. This game's taught me so damn much, dude. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna suck. But hey. Like I said, another chapter, turn the page. KSP 2, here we come. That's right. KSP 2 better be amazing. I hope so. Where did you hear that KSP 2 is on Unreal, Draco? It's on Unity. I've seen KSP 2, and albeit a very, very early version of it. I've seen it. It's on Unity. I'm just trying to find the right placement here for this. You know what? I extended this so we could make this look a little bit. No problem. Give me the chrome! My body is chrome, and my blood is gasoline! A little bit, Boo. Yeah, just a little bit. I'm just trying to make a structure, because this thing was super susceptible to bending with the older version, and I don't want it to bend. So I'm trying to build it out and make it really strong. It's just, I'm getting a little tired. You made fire? Any performance improvements for LV5A, or is the design locked in? Rocket Guy, I got it into space. We ended up tweaking the overclock on the engines up to 117% rated, and that gave it the TWR to just blast right out of the atmosphere. If we fly, and basically the problem was, dude, I'm so used to launching a rocket, a 2-stage to orbit, where I have to fly steep to get the first stage back, but I got into a habit of it, and I kind of forgot, like, what is an efficient trajectory is. If I flew this on, an as efficient a trajectory as I possibly could, and we were getting into, we could get into 100 by 100 orbit with, like, I don't know, 200 meters a second delta V left over, and enough for rendezvous proximity operations to a station or a satellite deployment, and then a deorbit, and have enough left over to come down and land. It's good enough for a baseline, but I'm sure there's room for improvement somewhere. You know, I'm sure we can improve it in some way, shape, or form somewhere. Is this on a hinge for verification? It's not on a hinge for verification, but I mean, now it is. Why is it so laggy? That's peculiar. Ailerons are clipping. Why, Jim? Why? I guess putting the panels in, yeah, putting the panel covers on there. Okay. Nah, it shouldn't be that laggy, Rocket Guy. See, it's not laggy now. Why was it laggy before? It's weird. You know what? I'm not gonna ask. Don't worry about it. Okay, and I know there's a little bit of right there, but it shouldn't be a problem. In fact, if we went a little bit down on this, that actually would give us, yeah, cool. Perfect. That actually gives us the perfect length. Are we centered on the engines, though? Yeah, I think we're good. I need to redo the base fairing again, but it's okay. Not that bad. So all we got to do is just move this. Just got to move that right there. And then take the SSTO, just move it out of the way. Go in here like this and hope that it doesn't clip. We just got to move those crossbars out of the way for a second. Cool. Yeah, that works. I can't give you a part count, T-Man, on a pad I haven't made yet. So, how many part counts? Yes. 11D? 7? 5? 9er? Sorry, I just needed to move that around a little bit. Cool. Please fit. Please fit. Please. Please fit. I love you. Oh. I wonder if I can get a center panel that's the right diameter. Or the right size. That'll work. Get rid of that. Alright, so we are clearance there, we're clearance there, perfect. Alright, here's what... Here's what I need to do now. I need to make sure that these panels fit. I like to twist them 90 degrees to make sure they're attaching on the center nodes. Sometimes they attach to the outside nodes. Damn. Happy Canada Day. Yeah, happy Canada Day to all my fellow Canadians, our fellow neighbors to the north. I'm not Canadian. I'm tainted by them, though. I live near them. I don't know. Nobody knows what they're doing up there. It's a little weird. Go Habs. Go Habs! Ugh. Hey, screw you, buddy! I ain't your buddy, guy. Well, I'm not your guy, friend. I'm not your friend, buddy. You guys are dicks. Release Terrence and Phillip. I will give you something to cry about. As you can see, our entire economy relies on Terrence and Phillip. Without them, we are doomed to recession. Alright. That's good. Good progress there. So tired of the cheating clown bandwagon fan base. You can't stand Tampa? What's wrong with Tampa? You don't like Florida, man? I can't understand why. Can't understand why you don't like Florida, man, guy. Come on, guy. Come on, guy. Florida, man. Florida guy is great. Ah, come on, buddy. No one likes Florida, man. I like Florida, man. I like Florida. I know, Tiger. Wait, no one likes Florida, man? You're saying that with Tiger Woods in your name? What the frick, dude? What is this? What is this happy horse shit? Sorry, it's after hours. Excuse me. No swear jar? Nah. No. Yeah, I don't need that there. That's fine. What is the Canadian version of Florida? Alberta. They knocked us in the playoffs the past 3 years, and almost all of their fans are bandwagoners. Nobody likes them. I mean, Brian, I'm a Bruins fan, so I hate the Islanders. I hate Tampa. I hate the Canadiens, the Kings, the Flyers, the Penguins, the Rangers, the Devils, the Sharks, the Avalanche. I don't hate the Red Wings because of Bremo. I hate Winnipeg. I hate Vancouver. I hate Toronto. Do you see where I'm going with this? Is there anybody you do like? The Bruins. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Bruins. Okay. I think we have the clearance. Yep, perfect. Sweet. Panthers? Yeah. Hurricanes I hate. I can't stand them. Detroit will get there sooner or later. Sooner when? Yeah, when, excuse me, when cup? Excuse me, when cup? What are your thoughts on the Golden Knights? Lame. Okay, so I might have taken it too far. I'm gonna have a Wolfhound engine launch on a rocket. Okay. That's where I need to run the I-beam, the inner I-beams here. Excuse me, when fresh pots? I'm not drinking coffee right now. It's way too late. It's 11 o'clock, Draco. It's never too late for coffee. You're a meteorologist. You don't think your opinion's biased at all? Decaf then. Ugh, god dang it. Decaf is the dang impossible burger of coffee. Anybody in this stream that drinks decaf, unless they medically have to, will ask him politely but firmly to leave. Ugh. Nice. Alright, there we go. So I'm gonna need to strut this thing up. And now... What's wrong with decaf? That's good. Get out. Ugh. So Rocket Guy, if you're still here, dude, I know he's in here a little while ago. If you're still in here, man, you were telling me about same vessel collision preventing drift. I think that's correct. That's why I'm putting these beams here, so I can SVI on these hinges if they move around. He's probably gone, though. It's no problem. Okay, and now these hinges here need to go like this. And these can be the hinges for the transporter erector, so put them like that. There we go. It might work, T-Man. I have to prove it. Remember, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove, Jake. T-Man, just remember, King Kong ain't got nothing on me, okay? Also remember, I'm the police. I run stuff here. You just live here, okay? What's up, Ron Burgundy? How's your news life? Wait, what? What? Time run, Bergen. The stash. Do you love it, Andre? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you need it? I'm pretty sure you don't, but I mean, just in case. Alright, Market. See ya. Have a good one, man. Alright. That is off the chain hooks. I don't know why I said that. He will read anything you put on the teleprompter. And I mean anything. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we need that. That's fine. So we're going to do a little bit of trickery here with this, okay? Yeah, so I'm going to move that I-beam, the first I-beam that I placed out here, and then I'm going to move this one down here. That way, the first I-beam, so this I-beam right here is connected to that one. This one I can strut to here, and that'll make it stronger. Instead of having this connected to an I-beam, connected to here, and then strutted, you're bypassing a link in the hierarchy, and that basically just is there to look nice because the I-beam isn't long enough. It's a good way to trick it. Trick this thing into working correctly. Yeah, that's one of the ways you can trick the Kerbal hierarchy to get it to do what you want. It's looking good. I'm happy with this. This is nice. Does it... I'm going to have to come up with a rotational debug because those things don't move with it right now. But yeah, that's good. These late night build streams definitely turn into chill streams, huh? LT launch table rotational debug. So it's actually kind of nice just chilling at the end of the day here because I can focus. Yeah, Roblox, I think that was the best solution given the circumstances. I might not be able to make the same pad launch both of the SSDOs, and if that's the case, it would probably be better to just build out one for the small vehicle and A, see if anything is scalable, and B, see if I could adapt this to the big one if I needed to. And then if neither of those work, then I can always use to make part count a little bit not as like cumbersome. I can make a hanger pad like I did with the original version of this for the big SSTO and have these two pads next to each other with a relatively low part count. Which could be, well not could be, will be pretty damn useful. So yeah, some of that building technique from Condor's pad finding its way back in here. Cool. So that's a good start for the rotational box. That's pretty good. What I think I want to do here is take an I-beam like this, right? And have a cradle that holds this thing. Like that, right? Because the center of mass of this thing is obviously going to be like right around here. And it's not going to be on the pivot point. So this thing might tilt forward. That was a problem that the old pad had. It might tilt forward a little bit. And if it does... Oh crap, the wing is going to be right there. So that's not going to work. Yeah, these would need to be a little bit closer inside of here. And then we would need to have that as same vessel collision, which I can't because they clip into each other. Where can I see Condor's pad? Condor was my Falcon 9 style rocket in another save. Nope, that's Freedom. Never mind. Just kidding. It is. See? Where are you going to place this? For realsies, it'll go right next to the launch pad for now. I'm basically trying to push to get the small one operational with its own self-contained thing. What do you think of that, King? Pretty cool, huh? The pad was 1,600 parts. It was 2,000 parts with the launch vehicle on it, T-Man. It was tough. Yeah, it gave us some pretty nasty frame rate problems. But it's still a cool piece. That was the first big launch pad that I ever made. So it's funny, kind of a streaming meta story right there. Like I worked on that thing so much, and I did a crash course in building heavy lift launch vehicle pads, right? When I should have built something small like Freedom's pad first. It would have helped a lot better. It would have helped me a lot more. And then, yeah, I basically ruined working on launch pads for a long time with chat. And the only way that I got anybody to even watch me build launch pads again in the first place, because I wanted to go back to it, is to come up with mission mode with the deadlines. That makes pad just a difficulty setting and not something that you end up spending freaking 6 months to a year working on as engineering one out. Elon's response to Tori. Oh. I guess I should have taken my own advice and just work on saving the things I love. Ah, Jim, careful, man. Phil, see, yeah, Elon was just like, you know what, man? People are going to call me an idiot for this, but it looks like Elon figured out that he was wrong. look, man, he could be having a bad day. Who knows? Maybe he's stressed out. That's fun. And you know what? I'll give him a pass on that one. Yeah, people aren't gonna like me for that, but I'll give him a pass, dude. If you're having you know what? All right, it's pretty much after hours. If you're having a shitty day, totally get it, dude. I mean, I don't think you need to go barking up Tory Bruno's tree, but if you're having a shitty day, I get you, man. Everybody has shitty days. It's all good. Like, I'm not, you know, people are gonna not be happy with me, like, saying that, yeah, it's all good, man. Because I know that people are getting sick of it. But, dude, the guy does have a lot on his plate, dude. I said that. I did say that, Phil. You could just be having a bad day, man. You know how much stress that guy is under? Like, I can't even imagine, dude. I get stressed out from the stream sometimes, dude. Not like anything bad, right? But I do. The stream does stress me out. It's just because it's a job, just like any other job. And more, what's even, I guess, worse, so to speak. I wouldn't say it's like worse. Might not be the right way to say it. What's even worse is that I care about this job. I care about it a lot. It's not just some, you know, like packing groceries or something, you know? It's not just working on a loading dock. This job is very important to me, and that does stress me out, but it's like a good stress out. I'm stressed out because I care. I can only imagine, you know, I can empathize, dude. Like Elon friggin' Musk, dude. I get it. Like, dude, I can only imagine, dude. SpaceX is his passion project. Guy's literally changed the freaking world with his passion project. That's unbelievable. Like, I get it. Yeah, T-Man, that wasn't because of Kerbal. I mean, Kerbal wasn't cooperating with me, but there was other things on my mind that, yeah, that was kind of like, I was a little preoccupied. You'll understand when you get older, dude, when you're in a relationship. You'll understand what I'm talking about. I had the in-laws over, man. Oh God, that was stressful. But no, everything turned out okay. I'm really glad that you took a break. It screwed me up, to be honest with you. Taking a break screwed up my rhythm. It took me a week and a half to get it back. Like, did you see how inconsistent my schedule was last week? It was terrible. Barely streamed. Barely streamed any Kerbal, barely streamed anything. You needed it, though? But vacation was stressing me out, Jack. Vacation was stressing me out. Not, like, I don't know, maybe. You practice at taking vacations? I'm not going to say it wasn't nice, Audrey. I ran out of things to do. As messed up as that sounds, I ran out of stuff to do. Like, okay, the first couple of days that I was on vacation, we were still here. We didn't go down to the Cape yet. We hadn't gone down yet. And man, I had a couple of days where we were just chilling, right? I ran out of stuff to do. I ran out of things. I got so bored so quickly. I'm like, wow, there's so many hours in the day, dude. What do you mean I have the next 8 hours open? That's weird. Like, in karate, I like working. It's different when it's your business, man. It's just like, that's something I gotta convey. It's different when it's your frigging business, you know? See last. What's up, Squish? Hey, I wanted to ask you if you covered... Yeah, I did. It was part of Space News. I thought you went up to Detroit for vacation. No, we went down the Cape. We went down Cape Cod, Jim. It'd be Cape Cod to me. It would be like you going to Tahoe. It's like that's the vacation spot around Massachusetts. And I know that Tahoe's a rich people place now. Like it's not like it was, but so is the Cape. Rocket Labs always shows photos of their production rate, yet they only launch every so often, even when they're operating. Why is that? Could be payloads. Payloads could be the constraint. They could have all the rockets ready in the world. So there's no payloads to launch. I mean, Tori Bruno has that problem. He has like 30 rockets sitting in his rocket factory. Ah, of course I misclicked. Seriously, ULA has like 30 rockets in the pipe right now. Easily. Remember, they're expendable. I mean, SpaceX is launching a lot as well, right? But SpaceX reuses cores. So it would, at face value, like SpaceX, like Hawthorne is not going as much as Decatur, but Tori Bruno, even with Vulcan, they had ULA has a problem, and the problem is that nobody can get their payload made in time to launch for Vulcan. Seriously, that's what's going on. They Vulcan. The reason why Vulcan is being delayed isn't because of Vulcan. It's because of the payloads. Strange, huh? It's a weird problem to have, I guess. He's got 30 rockets in his rocket account. Come on. Okay, that should almost get this thing ready to go. Small sats are a very niche market. True that, Sawyer. Absolutely. Okay. Cool. Almost done. The pad is pretty much, let's save a new version, R41, last modified 7, 121. We don't need that anymore. So we're at 305 parts as is. We'll end up taking about some of this stuff out. Not bad. I would say our final part count for this thing is probably going to be about 350. About 350. Now, comparatively, LV5A Launchpad Revision 3 was the last pad hanger pad that we had. And that is 490 parts. And this does more, because the other one is just hanging off the end of the pad. This has its own ramp. It ended up being less parts, which is good. We should put a giant Pringle can on Vulcan if they can't get the payloads. There we go. That can hold that up. Just make sure it's not clipping into anything. Oh, that's perfect. It looks like it attaches. That's really cool. Let's check the launch table rotational debug. Yeah, man, this thing is going to be really strong. Real strong. Good. 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 Your hate has made you powerful. This ends up looking a lot more like the real one. I'm actually very happy with this one over the other one. I'm thinking about putting panels on the inside here so none of these struts get cooked when the engines ignite, but that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That'd be 12 more parts. If I can spare it, I will. It looks good though. Yeah, nice. And then these things should be able to hold that thing in place so they don't move. And it shouldn't get in the way of the wings or anything. The further I have this out here, the better. There we go. And you always got to clip the I-beams a little bit. Cool. That's so gnarly. This is really cool. I can't believe Falcon 9 has launched more stuff into space than other competitors. What's hard to believe? Serious, man. What's hard to believe about that? Perfect. Are we going to do more test flights? Maybe one for the new pad? Yeah, of course. Of course. Oh, yeah. No. Wow, I gotta test the pad somehow. I'm kind of waiting on the hotfix, I'll be honest with you. I'm waiting on that dang hotfix. I need the hotfix in order for the pad to work. Because then if it doesn't, I'll dock the SSTO to this, and it'll just weeble wobble around. I have auto struts here that are acting as hold down points because they're strutted to root part. So I really need this to I really need to speak English correctly. I'm starting to get tired. I need the hotfix. I'm sorry. I'm starting to get tired. It's 11:30. This stream has been going for 11 and a half hours. Awesome, still getting your R&D on. Put the game in the other day and noticed some DLCs, snatched them up. Knew I had to catch you as soon as I saw the robotics added. Hey, Colma, long time no see. How are you? Yeah, it's been a while, dude. What have you been up to? Anything useful? Hopefully. I mean, it's a much newer vehicle than Delta 4. Yeah. Nazavan, like, here's the thing. This is what people don't understand. ULA can scale production. They can launch on the frequency of Falcon 9. It's just they don't have any demand to do that. That's all. But the funny thing is that those 9 Atlas 5 launches launching Project Kuiper for Amazon, you'll see what ULA can do. Oh yeah, you'll see it. Living the dream, got a good job in collecting more and more motorcycles. Hell yeah, man. Oh, it's raining out. I thought I heard something knocking behind me. It's rain hitting the air conditioner. This is the first. Oh gosh. I thought it was the right hotfix, but there's another one coming out. 11.2 is when we'll get the ground anchors and stuff. And that's when they'll get the docking port locks, or at least I'm pretty sure. Docking. Once we're able to lock out docking ports on rotation, then we're good to go. I'm telling you guys, it's just gonna. Remember when I said, like, once I finish Freedom's Pad, we're gonna be launching a lot? Look what happened after that. You remember? If I can get this thing working, we will fly. We will be doing 2 to 3 missions every day when we need to. Yeah, and I can have the small SSTO. I can have the small SSTO profit. Like, we can make money off of that, and I can use that for R&D for the big one while we launch missions. So, like, we'll do some R&D on the big SSTO, and then launch a couple spy satellites. Spy satellites? I don't know why I said that. We'll launch a couple satellites with that thing, and we'll go from there. Or we could use it to build a bigger satellite, or we could use it to send something somewhere. We could put the crew tank in it, and we could rotate crews with the thing. Then if we do that, I need to develop a crew access tower, but that's another story. Hey, Blue, what's going on, brother? Any fixes for hinge drift? It's not going to get fixed, Phil. They ain't going to fix it. It's really... With the packages that Unity offered to be able to make animatable parts, there's really nothing you can get. There's nothing you do to get around it. Hinge drift in this game is as much part of Kerbal as a Kraken drive and the weird landing gear. There's nothing you can do. We could, Easter eggs. Yeah, we could go anomaly hunting. Mm-hmm. Back channel funding for the Department of Curb Fence. Yep. Yep, you got me. You got me. Back channel funding. Yep, too much. Too much. Dimitri, what's your last, buddy? Do multiple hinges on I-beam stack? If you strut them together, yes. I'll show you how that all works in a moment. Yeah, I can show that off in a second. Sweet. Now, the reason why I did this is because I want a part connected directly to these hinges that's pushing into the ground. I'm pretty sure that'll help with the drift a little bit, but if not, we can enable same vessel collision here on these hinges, and that should help it out a little bit. I read that heated thread and it got me thinking, if ULA formed a merger of two previously competitive launch companies that were also formed from previous mergers, is it really fair to SpaceX if they are kind of guaranteed bigger contracts? ULA was forced to merge, Squishin, because the launch market crashed and Boeing and Lockheed got caught spying on each other. The launch market burst because of the dot-com bubble. The dot-com bubble burst and the launch market suffered because of it. The demand went from the busiest it had been since the 60s to literally nothing. Because all the tech companies couldn't launch their satellites into space anymore for like satellite TV, satellite radio, internet satellites. Like slow internet satellites, not like Starlink. Sat phone, stuff like that. But they also caught Boeing and Lockheed spying on each other. And that coupled with the dried up demand for launches, they forced them to merge together. That's what happened. They forced them to merge. And the reason why ULA was paid exorbitant amounts of money was because there was no profitability in keeping Delta 4 and Atlas V and Delta 2 operational. There was no point unless the government paid you to do it, and that's exactly what happened. And then when good competition came around and they proved that they could also launch national security missions a la SpaceX, then they stopped getting that money. This isn't rocket science, man. I went into huge detail during Space News Squishin this afternoon, and I tried to tell the whole story, but then chat wanted to see Super Heavy, so they were like, no, turn on Super Heavy. I'm like, okay, whatever. So the story's kind of fragmented, but hey, look, if you read that thread, Elon clearly, he's like, oh, okay, maybe I should just mind my own business. That's what he said. And like I said, dude, maybe he's stressed about something. Maybe he's just having a shitty day. Who knows? Like, you gotta keep your cool, my dude, but I mean, maybe he didn't say something how he meant and people took it out of context and, he's like, yeah, never mind, whatever. When you're trying to tell somebody something, if you're having a debate with somebody and they purposely misconstrued your words to try and make you look stupid even though you know what you're talking about. Chat. That happens.
Is there a reason they didn't just pick Delta or Atlas? Redundant, dissimilar architecture, Kerbal King. The Air Force learned their lesson in 1986 why you don't rely on one launch vehicle to move all your spy satellites into space. Yeah, Naz, man, I'm pretty sure Elon doesn't give a fuck when it comes to Twitter after that fiasco with the SEC. I tried to say that in a much nicer way during Space News. I really don't think he cares. Like, but once again, I don't speak for the guy. I have no idea. I'm just a humble Kerbal player tending to my memes. I really don't think he gives zero fricks when it comes to that, dude. Yeah, Blue, neither does Elon Musk, man. Join the club. Oh, wait. We caught you doing what we do all the time. No, it's illegal when you do it. No, I get you, man. I'm with you on that one. Hell with those guys. It's like it's the GameStop fiasco all over again, man. Is Vulcan expected to have cheaper operational costs than Atlas or Delta? Yeah, of course. Yeah, man. Dude, I don't think people understand how much ULA has been able to lower their prices. Not because, oh, we have to lower their prices because we can't hamstring the government anymore. No, they lowered their prices because Tory Bruno is a freaking genius when it comes to running a business. Okay, think about it like... Okay, all right. Hear me out. ULA, Tory Bruno got hold of that. The board put him as CEO in 2014 after the other guy made a fool of himself in front of the Senate. Yes, Rule 8. He made a fool of himself. Elon made him look stupid. So they sacked him, and they ousted him and put Tory Bruno in his place, okay? Right? Tory Bruno comes in. You have a company that has aging infrastructure. Your money to maintain your pads is about to dry up. I'll name one thing amongst many, all right? One of the things that Tory Bruno did to help keep the costs down while you're building Vulcan and simultaneously still be competitive with SpaceX is that he standardized the avionics between Atlas and Delta. They could do that now because Falcon 9 competition happened. So one of the ways he was going to drive down cost, or he sought to drive down cost, is standardizing the avionics and coming up with a modular guidance and control. Well, not Tory Bruno exactly, but he facilitated this whole thing. A modular guidance and control system that can be installed on Atlas and Delta. Atlas and Delta have common avionics now. Nobody ever talks about any of this stuff. But that is Tory Bruno is directly responsible for that because it was one of the ways that they could keep costs down, develop a new launch vehicle, and also support launch infrastructure for Delta and Atlas. It's friggin' genius, dude. Do you know how hard it is to make two rockets that have completely dissimilar architecture, different engines, different propellants, different stage diameters, different materials, different fairing, different everything? Use one avionics package? That's pretty damn impressive. You know, it's pretty cool. And Tory Bruno immediately started turning ULA around. Because people would harp on them as much as Elon did tonight. Oh, dude, the fanboys hated ULA, I remember. The ULA sniper is just a meme now. But, god dang, dude, did people actually believe that? I'm serious. Didn't they just use MechJeb? Yeah, exactly. No, you're wrong. Nice, then. Yeah, all the while retiring Delta 2, Delta 4, progressing Vulcan, just maneuvering around that fiasco that your first stage engine supplier, you can't buy engines from anymore. Because somebody in the government decided how you should run your business for you. Like,
I mean, the guy's maneuvered through all kinds of just bull crap, and he's still freaking... Like, how ULA hasn't just sank into oblivion is beyond me. It's a testament to Tory Bruno's business style, how he runs things. What did the old CEO do to screw up? Oh, Elon Musk made him look stupid. And then he said that SpaceX reusability is a fad right after that. Yeah, the board had enough of his shit. Michael Gass, I think was his name. And remember the legitimate investigation that actually went into the sniper after almost? Dude, I still can't believe that, Sawyer. I can't believe that. Mr. Naga, not gonna work here anymore. Gone. What's the latest we heard of Vulcan? Vulcan is going to be delayed until 2023 through no fault of Vulcan. Yep. Seriously. The first 2 payloads that are scheduled for Vulcan to fly in late 2022, both are delayed. Vulcan is being delayed through no fault of Vulcan. Yep. Yep. That's it. It's not because of the engines. It's not because of the engines at all. Peregrine, the first lander, and Dream Chaser, delayed. Or not 2022, not 2023. I misspoke. I forgot what year it was. Excuse me. I forgot what year it was. Forgot what year it was. My bad. My bad. Yeah, airborne. Kerbal, there's no BE4 problems. That's bullshit. You understand this, right? There's no dude. Look. There was problems with the BE4 like a year ago. There's no problems right now. That GAO report was bullshit. Dude, I'm telling you. Look, dude, TB said it was bullshit. He said, I gotta find it. Hold on. Where is it? Who wants the mustache ride? I want fun. I wouldn't believe him? What? What do you mean? Dude, do you know how much shit you'd be in if you said the Government Accountability Office was incorrect and you were wrong? Like, you found it? Like, you gonna put, dude, if you're gonna stick your neck out like that, you better be right. Sadly inaccurate. While BE-4 paces the completion of the vehicle, as is typical in rocket development, there are no igniter technical issues. We will fly when our payload is ready. Like, I don't know how much straighter you want it. Like, he went on to say that, any idea why the GAO misreported that? No. Generally, I'd agree that you should take anything a major CEO says with a bucket of salt about delays, but last I checked, Tory Bruno hasn't really been known for a history of telling lies. That's what I mean, Buck. You're gonna stick your neck out and say the Government Accountability Office is wrong in public discourse like that? Does Tory Bruno? You're right. You're absolutely right. Does Tory Bruno seem like the kind of guy that would do that? Fuck no. Not a chance in hell. No way. He wouldn't do that. Like, dude, you can say whatever you want about him. He wouldn't do that. That's not his style at all. No, there's no way. Look, once again, You're gonna stick your neck out and say the GAO is wrong like that? Tory's telling off the GAO is like Elon telling off the SECs, except Tory isn't a meme lord. Yeah. I don't. It's not his style to. It's not Tory Bruno's style to stir the pot like that. It really isn't. I agree, Luizo. I think he's telling the truth. I'm inclined to believe him. Just like if Elon said a GAO report about Raptors nonsense, I would believe Elon. I'm serious. Like, here, check this out, dudes. Like, why would he go to the ends? Why would Tory Bruno go to the ends of posting on frigging Reddit? Like, we were not contacted, interviewed, or asked any questions. Given this is about engine troubles, I know you've already said it's fine now. Maybe they contacted, interviewed people over at Blue Origin at the time. Nope. Interesting. I look over the report, and out of the 240-some pages, one was about Vulcan, and most of it was well out of the scope of rockets. To me, it didn't seem like they did or could do a very thorough analysis. Their information could just as well have been from reporters tweeting out rumors. The ignition issues that I think I remember hearing a rumor being reignition, more of a New Glenn issue for its landing burn and nothing to do with Vulcan, although rumors. Yep. I would never get desperate enough to post on Reddit. Smart. Hey, Eva Rays, what's up? I don't need to. I believe Tory Bruno, dude. Like I said, it's not his style to go and bullcrap like that. He doesn't seem like a bullshitter. Not in any way, shape, or form. I've never gotten that vibe from anything he's said ever. And I've listened to a lot of footage of him talking. Elon too, for what it's worth. Like, and you know how, like, I wouldn't, dude, I've spent, on the side note, on the same note there, I've spent tons of time reading GAO reports. I read those for fun. I don't read them on stream anymore, though, because stream gets all bent out, chat gets all bent out of shape about it. Because depending on who it's on, you can't say anything bad about the rocket company that I like. Like, so... Dude, I can't get this center of gravity near the center of mass. Alright, hang on a second, man. So, you have something like, you're playing something like this, right? And then if I'm remembering how I saw it correctly, Tin, it's something like that. And then you have... something like this. I think you might be running too much deflection. You're running too much elevator. So, what's the relative surface area of this? 52. 25. All right, here. Yo. Screw these things. Get rid of those. Take this control surface right here. This one. Put that back there. Put that all the way back. And then an important thing to do, Tin, is... so you're gonna need a stabilizer. So you can put this. This is a fine stabilizer. That's okay. And then you were using swept wings, if I'm remembering right. Make sure to set these to only pitch. Set that one to yaw, right? And do something like this. You had the swept wings, right? So you need something like, you had these guys. All right, and if I'm remembering correctly, yours were like this. And then do something like that out here. Right? And then take your landing gear, right? Screw those landing gear. Don't use those. Those things suck. Attach the landing gear here like this, and then just have it out like this. You want a wide stance with the gear, and put it slightly behind your center of mass, and then take this, put this out in front. There you go. And then take the engines that you had, love the new pad design. Thanks, man. Take these guys, put them down here like this. And if you could put them out here if you want, but you were running an inboard engine, which is fine. Just make sure it's a little bit below the landing gear like this. And then take your Juno engines that you had and do that. Or actually, I think you were running 2 fuselages. Hold on. You don't have those landing gears unlocked. Oh, alright. Well, okay. Don't use them if you can help it. So then do something like this. Something like this, my dude. Right there. That'll get you where you need. And then just play with it a little bit. Run less control surface out back. That should help you with your center of wing placement. Or center of lift placement. Also, do this when you're inside Tin. Do this when you're inside the SPH with center of lift and center of mass. Do that. Move it around and see what it does. I guarantee you, if it's not good in this position, if you angle 5 degrees up, it'll knock it right into place. That will fly. I know that will fly. This will fly just fine. You might need some flaps, though. I got you, man. We'll get that sucker up in the air. Don't worry. Like, I don't even need to see the center of lift, center of mass, dude. I know that'll fly. I've played this game way too much. Yeah, hold left shift to gizmo stuff around. Or not enough. I don't know, Jay. Who knows, man? Alright, so that's good. What time is it? It's midnight. Okay. So, what do I have to do here? To do pad hydraulics for TE and launch table. Cal controllers. TELT interface mechanism, probe core, battery for pad, and then construction. Hanger and integration crane. I think that's actually a good deal of it. Yeah, final part count for this thing should probably, I'm guessing about 350, and then about 350, and then we got to make the hanger over it. But will you show the multi-gimbal strut you mentioned before? Here, Dimitri, take a look. So you wanna slave a bunch of hinges to a master like this, or parent to child now, I guess is what everybody wants. So do something like this. So take the center hinge. I always anchor off the center. Right? Take whatever you're trying to move around. Attach it to the center hinge. You'll know it's attached to the center hinge because if you put your mouse over the center hinge, it'll highlight the part. Honestly, it's as simple as doing this. And then take all 3 hinges, right? Put them on a cal controller, like this, Take all 3 of them, put them on a cow controller. Take the curves, copy, go
Discovery, go at throttle up.
over here, paste, copy and paste, and then they all move in sync. Sometimes the struts don't like moving around in symmetry like this. But it's working. It'll work just fine. That's how you do it, man. That's what you were asking, right? Yeah, it just works. Hey, Drillbit, 23-month resub. Thanks, man. All right. This is sharp. I really like that box. That came out real good. I really like the box. It's not gonna make any difference. I've made hinges. If you couple a bunch of G11 hinges together, dude, I've made hinges like 4 or 5 of them. It can hold up a lot if you strut them right.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Evil Rays, 10-month resub. Hey, there we go. Was wondering where that was. Right on. Master. Master. Ah, that's what you were doing, Roblox. Slow faster. Obey your master. I don't want to get DMCA'd though. Never mind. I didn't say anything. You didn't hear me. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. And now that song's gonna be stuck in your head. Yep, sorry. Cool. Awesome. Good. And then we're going to need hinges here eventually. These hinges need to be right here for the hydraulics. Hydraulics. I'll save that for later. Alright guys, good progress on the pad. I left myself a to-do list for tomorrow. What day is it? Is it Thursday? Well, it actually just became Friday. Alright, cool. We got a good thing going here with the with this pad. I know I haven't been working on it lately, but we're gonna ramp up in the next couple of days. I want this pad basically finished by the end of this week. So by Saturday, we'll be launching. Well, I don't know if we're gonna launch stuff with it because of the hotfix, but if not, I'll find another way to make it work. For now, temporarily. Hey RJ, you're just catching me at the tail end. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Solid 12 stream right there. Nice. Who is Strum? So, guys, I'm gonna throw the raid over to Asteroid Day so we can watch some awesome asteroid space content. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it to Asteroid Day. I'm having issues with an ICBM pad. RJ, let's do it tomorrow, okay? I gotta run too. Enjoy your evening. And the 4th if I don't drop in before then. Alright, Weather. See ya, buddy. Go see what Asteroid Day is up to. They got some good asteroid content going on over there. And the Asteroid Day virtual thing is happening basically until the 4th. I'm basically just going to raid them until this weekend. Emote only chat? It doesn't matter. Go throw them the raid. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow around noontime. And, yeah, have a good night. What? Oh, you can't just do that at the end of the stream? What the heck, Midge? Midge-sama! Midge-sama! すみません。どうぞ. Alright, anyway. Midge, thank you. Love you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You fucker! Are you shitting me right now? This is bullshit. What are my values? I'm confused. Don't do this right now. Figgity, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. What did I just come back to? I'm trying to stop the stream, Wookie. They keep tipping the stream to keep me here. This is ridiculous. Stop that. Stop doing that. Stop this. You stop this nonsense. Oh, you. See you later, Doom.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
You know what? I know what'll get you to go away. I know what'll get you to go away, so get everybody to leave.
Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Stick it?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I don't know how to play it. Oh, guys. There was 2 tips in there, too. Hokey says good night. Karate tipped right after that. Angie is 5 subs.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
And FX Editor had 10 in there as well. What the
Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up.
I'll wait. Mitch gifted a sub to RB. Thank you. Happy 1st of July. Oh, thank you.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
How does it go, Blue? Burn down, turn down, do down, down.
Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up.
I've reached the beast. Number of the beast. Okie gifted 3. Thank you. Now I'm part of the
Discovery,
family.
go at throttle
Yeah,
up.
you could never leave. Oop.
Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at Go and throttle up. Discovery, go and throttle up.
Need to play a little Rocksmith? My hands are
Discovery, go and throttle up.
bad. Is the sub thing still going?
Discovery, go and throttle up. Discovery, go and
Almost
throttle up.
caught up. You getting better every day with that?
Discovery, go
Play a
and
little
throttle
bit
up.
every once in a while. No, it's
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Slacker! Are you done? I can keep going. I knew this would get people to go away.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
After midnight, walking to the dawn, living till the morning, and I'm gone. I'm gone. Oh. Are we done? Is that it? We good? I think we're clear. Thank you for all the subs, guys. I do appreciate it. I don't know, is it? You tell me. I think we're good. Go see what Asteroid Day is up to, okay? Thank you for all the support, guys. You guys are the best. Really appreciate it. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Play Here Comes the Sun? I don't know. Nah, we're good. Nah, we're good. We're good. Alright. Slack, see ya.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Don't you dare! All right.
Discovery, go and throttle up.